Us coming out the door before you even blink. Something so cold-blooded with a deep killer instinct. Don't look us right in the face, it's like staring at a burning sun. Cut deep like razor blades, and you know that we're out for blood. We're out for blood. Whoa, better run, better run. So here it comes, here it comes. Better run, better run. When the wolves come out to play. Ooh, ooh. No use in hiding. Oh, the hunger's burning like a flame. Full moon is rising. Oh, you're never gonna find escape. Don't look us right in the face, it's like staring at a burning sun. Got teeth like razor blades, and you know that we're out for blood. Only one person in the chat right now. Matthew Broom says hi. No one else, surprisingly. They'll pop up in a sec. Probably. Maybe. Maybe. It is a Tuesday, but also everyone's supposed to be quarantined anyway. So I'm confused as to why. I mean, then again, I've always said it. Hey, you're not obligated to come to the live stream, but, you know. Yeah. It is what it is. So Matthew, how are you on this fine Tuesday? On this terrific Tuesday? On this terrible Tuesday? It's either a terrific Tuesday or a terrible Tuesday, depending on how your Tuesday went. I think it was a pretty good Tuesday. I had a pretty good day. How was it? Tired and good. How come you didn't stream yesterday? I didn't stream yesterday because I didn't want to. What did I don't even remember yesterday. What even happened yesterday? I literally do not remember yesterday at all. At all. I think I slept most of the day. Did I? I don't even remember. Jeez. Whole thing's just been a blur. I have a Power Force Helix in my basement. Interesting. And the username is a Hoover. And they delete their message for some reason. Okay. Yeah, not a lot of people in the chat today, but that's okay. Four concurrent viewers with a chat rate of 2. I stayed up all night on Monday. I meet on Saturday, so I slept in until like 2 in the afternoon. Yeah, that'll happen. Is audio working? Let me double check, make sure that's working. I'm assuming it is since you're hearing me. Hello, is this working? No, it's working. It seems quiet for some reason. Is the audio quiet? No, it's working. It seems quiet for some reason. Is the audio quiet? Let me check OBS. OBS. No, it looks good. Turn the mic up a little bit. Don't want it to get in the yellow. That's probably good. There we go. Alright. Seems like a pretty uneventful chat today. Not a lot of people. Oh, Jack's Facts and Safety pops in. Hello. This is a pretty uneventful live stream so far. Started off very slow. We only got 2 people in the chat currently. Well, we have 5 concurrent viewers, so people who are watching but not saying anything, which is interesting because that's kind of the whole point of the thing. Yes, the idea was working that Phantom that you got this morning, or whatever you got. It sounds. Why is the text cut off? Let me refresh this. There we go. Okay. The idea was working that Phantom you got this morning, or whenever you got it. Sounds really, really good. Doesn't squeal at all. How did you get it to look brand new? I bought it like that, honestly. I didn't put any work into it other than unclogging it. That was the only issue with it, was that it was for some reason it was really plugged up. Even because I did the live stream like a week or 2 ago when I actually got the Fury, and it had a bunch of fuzz just randomly sitting in the canister, and all throughout the entire like back body of the machine. And I still sucked up enough out of it with my power groom to completely overfill the bin, to the point where whenever I empty the power groom, it's going to spill dust all over the place. So, but yeah, Buster8249 says, "Konnichiwa, you magnificent bastards." That's close to what Philip DeFranco says. He says, "Good morning, you beautiful bastards." Bastards. I don't know how you pronounce that. We'll break these bastards. There's no masters here. 1,000 boots down on the ground, beating the drum into a marching sound. You better fucking believe this. I forgot the rest of the lyrics to that song. I've listened to that song in so long. It's No Masters by Bad Wolves, which is good because I'm wearing a Wolfie shirt. It's a shirt with a wolf on it. And I was just singing a song about wolves, which I didn't even realize that I'm wearing the wolf shirt. I sold an Xbox today. I sold one of my Xbox 360s, which is cool. I sold it with a controller and 4 games and a hard drive for $75. I saw some decently priced Eureka Maximas on OfferUp. Yeah, well, see, the thing is that I bid on something on eBay, and I forgot about it, and I won the auction, so, of course, eBay kept nagging me, saying, "Hey, bro, pay for your crap," and I'm like, okay. So, ironically, I bought an Xbox on eBay, so I sold an Xbox to get another Xbox, although this Xbox does have some games with it, and it's the Halo edition. Not the Halo 4 edition, which I have currently 2 of them right now, but it's the Halo 3 edition. You know, the green and gold one, 360. So, because I want to collect all the special edition fat 360s consoles, fat 360 consoles. You know, the big curvy ones. Because right now I got the arcade, I have a Pro, I have an Elite, and soon I'll be getting the Halo 3 edition. So there's not that many of them that are like, and I mean like the normally accessible ones. So the only other ones are the Modern Warfare 2 edition, which I used to have, so I want to get the Modern Warfare 2 edition, the Resident Evil edition, which is just a red console, and I think there's like maybe 1 or 2 others, but those are like all the common ones that I'm aware of. But yeah, so I want to collect all those special edition fat Xbox 360 consoles. Which those are starting to increase in value a little bit, which is good. So I'm glad that I'm starting to collect them now. And there's not that many of them to collect, so it's a very stubby collection. And considering Xboxes take up a decent amount of space, although I can't really talk about space when I collect vacuum cleaners, because if you look over there, I mean, look at that. You really think I can complain about space? I really can't, can I? But yeah. Anyways, see, now the chat's looking really good. My school is now closed until April 22nd. My breath smells like coffee. I'm assuming that's probably because of this. Um, I'm glad, but at the same time, I feel like a zombie apocalypse is coming. Well, that's because a zombie apocalypse is coming, for the most part, because right now we have a global pandemic going on. The markets are crashing, and if you thought the 2008 Great Recession was bad, oh boy, we are in for a treat. Some of the estimates that top economists are putting us at are saying that we're going to be uh, upwards of 20 to 30% unemployment within the next couple years because of how bad this is targeting the service industry, and the United States is largely centered around service industries. So you're screeching the entire economy to a grinding halt, while at the same time not, you know, properly insuring citizens to make sure that they can pay for things like rent and medical bills, while at the same time telling them that they can't work. So, you know, um, if it's called a twin chamber, then why is there only one dirt chamber? Because the other chamber has a filter in it. It didn't say twin dirt chambers, it said twin chambers. And technically, if it has a filter in it, it would still have dirt in it, just not as much dirt. Well, probably, because they have horrible filtration. But, but yeah, one time I found this really bad vacuum. I think it was a Bissell. Had to use my Hoover twin chamber to clean it out, and it filled the chamber up 3 times. I actually got a Hoover wind tunnel twin chamber. I'm about to sneeze. No, maybe not. Okay, false alarm. Um, there are 702 COVID-19 cases in my state now. Jeez, that's not good. Yeah, this is getting really bad. Let's not talk about it. Anyways, why would the person post you getting angry? I don't understand why someone would actually record you do. Are you talking about Ghost versus Josh? That's a skit. That's not real. That was a show. That's not actually me. I'm playing a character. We're all playing characters. Ghost versus Josh. You ever talking about the one where I broke the laptop? Um, like where I broke my friend's laptop? That was an already broken laptop. That's just a fake skit. Surprised you didn't catch that. The acting is garbage. Um, but yeah, let's see. I didn't know the filtration, and it is absolutely terrible. Yeah, it's terrible. It's not as bad as the Bissel's, but it's a very close margin. Like if you open up a twin chamber, there's dust all over the inside of it, just like on the inside of a bagless Bissell, like the Helix or the bagless or Cleanview or whatever, older models. Um, but yeah, my state said they were not going to close school for the rest of the year because they think children will be exploited online while at school. Well, just parents should do their job and teach kids that pedos exist. Unless that's not what you mean by exploited. What a surprise! Shitty people exist. What another surprise! Parents should do their job and teach their kids about, you know, stupid people. The coronavirus stands for common cold. It does not. That's not accurate. My grandpa had a twin chamber from 2001 to 2018. It just quit running one day, shut off in the middle of vacuuming, and never came on again. I know that happened. I think his name was Hank. Hank's Garage. Was it Hank? No, it was. His name was Leo or Loco or something like that. His Phantom Fury died. He said it was just using it, just cut out on him or something like that. Coronavirus stands for the flu times 20. Yeah, it's more like flu times like maybe 3 or 5, maybe 7. I guess it depends on the person, of course, how bad it is. Boppo says yeet. Why the hell haven't I had Boppo over? I don't know. Then again, you're working. Boppo, are you still working during this whole shit show? Vacuum and carpet cleaner guy says, yo guys. Yes, I agree the motor on those machines are extremely loud. I should do a smackdown between whether my Cleanview or my 10 amp Fury has a worse sounding motor. I'm still putting my bets on the Cleanview. On my old Europro stick vac, the cord came out. My mom kept using it until it didn't come on one day. Probably because he tore the damn cord off. Also, my power groom buzzes like buzzes like crazy. The brush roll buzzes so bad on it, and it's always done that ever since I did the demo on it, which is the first time that I turned it on. Like, it buzzes so bad that unless you're on really thick carpet, that will muffle it. Otherwise, like, it'll buzz my hand because it buzzes all the way through to the top of the handle. It's really bad too. Like, if I vacuumed the house today with it, and like, seriously, it was shaking my hand so bad that by the time I was done, I had a panic attack or an anxiety attack, because it was just like manually shaking me. So just like manually triggered an anxiety attack, which is really stupid. I probably could open it up and look at the brush roll, but I just took the damn thing out of the box. I shouldn't have to do that. So that's one thing that's very frustrating about the power groom. And I don't want to return it because it's like, I don't want to friggin', I already used it. So it's kind of like, I could clean it up and make it look like new again and then return it. But it's like, I don't want to have to do that. That would suck. But yeah, it's just really unfortunate. I'll probably call Bissell about it tomorrow and see if they can't do anything about it. It probably just needs a new brush roll, which sucks. It's like, oh, come on, I buy a brand new vacuum and it still has a bad brush roll in it, assuming that's the issue. I'll probably just stick another brush roll in it real quick and see if it still buzzes. That's fine. My PowerTrack's brush roll's been buzzing since 2016. Does it buzz bad enough to where when you're not on carpet, it'll buzz the handle, like it'll buzz all the way through the entire machine? Because eventually that's probably going to hurt the motor. Hey, Chance, have you ever had a Eureka Airspeed 1? I have not. I've had a Eureka Superlight, a Eureka Maxima, and Lightspeed, that sort of thing. Not even think. Airspeed 1s are terrible. I never had an Airspeed 1. I think my aunt and uncle have an Airspeed 1. I kind of feel bad because I commented on it being essentially a piece of crap, and she was like really sad. She's like, well, I like it. I'm like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't. I was like, yeah, that was probably a dick move. I probably shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't say that your vacuum is a piece of crap whenever, it's your vacuum. It's your only vacuum. I mean, it is crap. I'm not lying. Like, it is a piece of garbage. But I shouldn't have said that. Because if she likes it, then what, unless she commented on it first and said, man, I don't like my vacuum, it causes so many problems. I'd be like, yeah, those things are pieces of shit. But I don't know. It's Ben's garage. Yeah, it's something like that. But yeah, so I'm super happy that my Fury is working now, my 12 amp one. My 10 amp one I'm still kind of sad about, but yeah. Because honestly, I'd rather use the 10 amp one because it uses less power. I don't know, are the 12 amp ones supposed to be more durable than the 10 amp ones? Because the 12 amp one feels sturdier, like it's a little bit heavier than my 10 amp one. I don't know if the motor itself is heavier, or the plastic's thicker, or whatever the case may be. But the 12 amp one feels beefy. Better than Dyson. Just being honest, I could probably only out-clean a DC-18 or one of the V-Series 6-packs. Is a DC-18 really that bad at cleaning? I assume the DC-18 was probably almost as good as a 25, maybe around the same as a 24 cleaning-wise. That's what I would have expected. But then I've never owned an 18. I'm still trying to get a hold of that one guy where I wanted to buy a Power Force bag, $13.98, a Power Force bagless, $65.84, and a DC-17. Like, I was supposed to get all three of those vacuums for $60 like a month ago, and he hasn't been responding. I understand, like, if he doesn't want to meet right now because of the whole COVID shit, but why aren't you responding to my messages? Why? And I'm messaging, and he's posting more listings, like he's online. but he's just not responding to my messages. And I'm like, why? I want to give you money, you give me vacuum. I give you money, you give me vacuums. And it's not like, oh, he didn't agree to the deal. No, I said, what is a fair price for these 3 machines? And he said, I would do 60 for all. And I said, sounds great. I didn't even haggle. I said, hey, I'm getting a bulk deal because I'm a collector. So offloading multiple vacuums. I didn't even say that, but it's kind of like that's the only information. It's like, hey, you did me a deal because I'm getting multiple machines off your hands because I want them. And he's just not responding. Because the only Power Force I haven't owned is a 1398, which is basically just a 71Y7, but with the weird stretch hose and the turquoise carpet height dial. Why does Chance keep finding sharks everywhere? I don't find sharks everywhere. I just have 2 of them right now. I just wasn't built for normal use. Oh, it just wasn't built for normal use like their uprights were. Oh, I just bit my tongue. The DC-18, you mean? Nose itches. I've somehow owned or used every clean view, but have only owned 3 Power Forces and in total used 4. Interesting. And does that include because you had the bagless that was basically a turbo, and then you had an actual turbo, right? So what were the other 2? Or no, did you have a Power Force bagged? I don't think you ever had a Power Force bagged, unless I'm remembering correctly. I'm going off the top of my head. I could be remembering incorrectly. I've somehow owned... Oh, I just read that. Okay. But yeah. So... Remember, wash your hands. Use hand sanitizer, assuming you can find any. Here's what they were. 3537, 6596, 1739. Oh yeah, I forgot about that one. And 6579-2. And I think I've owned every single one of those. No, I had the 6595, right? Or no, 6585. I had a turbo either way. I had a turbo. I had the 35. I've had every single one of those. Except the turbo was a slightly different model number, but it's the same vacuum. I've used 12 Bissell Power Force bagless vacuums, and I still own 7 of them somehow. I'm really sad that my church is canceled. Oh. Well, you don't need church for love and compassion and Jesus. I'm assuming that's the one that you like is the Jesus. Or whichever one you like. I like to tear the labels off these coffee bottles for no good reason. No mercy, this fury, like a war machine, it keeps turning. No mercy, no mercy. Ooh, ooh, better run. Here it comes. I miss math class. Ah, dang it. It keeps ripping. There we go. That was unnecessary. There we go. Now it's got no label on it. When does it expire? August 3rd, 2020. Okay. Mine Disneyland got canceled because from coronavirus. That's not good. My Bissells are 6579-2, 6582, 6583-X, and 6584 lol. The non-mentioned ones are the same model. So you have even multiples of the exact same model. Huh. Interesting. I mean, I have two 3522s, but they're not exactly the same. One's a -5, one's a -R. And, what else? So I have so for power forces, I have both 3522s. Actually, yeah, I only have the 352. Oh, I have the 3522s, the big green commercial, the 1739, I think that's all the back power forces. Can you show your Note 5? Okay, instead forgot Vikings probably the guy's stream removed. What the hell's wrong with that guy? Why does he keep like deleting people's streams? The thing that sucks about this Corona bullshit is that people can just falsely flag a stream and just completely take it down. Just one person can just say, "Ew, I don't like it," and then boom, the whole thing's down. It's just so stupid. It's like there should be like a better system for that. Like at least have it be like, okay, 5 people. At least like, okay, 5 people have to report it before it gets taken down. And the silver 1240C. Ooh. I'd like to get a silver one. Is it like the same one that one guy had where he had it in the snow in like Alaska or something? Well, remember, he has like 5 accounts. Yeah, that's fucking stupid. If he pops up again, just report his profile. The silver one was a Canadian exclusive, I think. Yep, it's only sold in Canada. When I was visiting there, I saw... Okay, he was in Canada. That makes sense. So it's cold in Canada. What does everybody think the worst Dyson was? I would say the DC-28. I would tend to agree. Who are you talking about? Talking about Caden, the dude who, like, reported a bunch of our live streams just to get them taken down. Like that one... Remember that one live stream whenever I finally just removed him from the channel and then the stream immediately went down, like, a minute later? It's because he just, you know, mass reported it and got it taken down for, I forgot what he even said, but it said just, you know, because of content that was bad or something. Like it wasn't even specific. Like if I go to YouTube Studio and I look at this, I go under videos. Where is it? Oh, I guess it finally just like is erased, which I guess is good because it's like if you're gonna remove it anyways, then why just have a blank space from a random stream that doesn't exist anymore? But yes, it just said like removed because of content or something stupid like that. Super vague, nothing specific at all. Just really dumb. I know they had a lot of problems, but to be honest, I want a DC-15. I kind of do too. The DC-27 is fine. There's not really any issues that I'm aware of with the DC-27. The 28 was really bad, and the kinetic was really bad. And the 15 was, it wasn't the worst thing in the world. It was just a bizarre machine. But I wouldn't put the DC-17 or the DC-15 anywhere near in the same category as the 28 or the Cinetic. I'd probably put the 27 and the 15 in similar categories. Maybe the 27 a little bit. Because what problems did the 27 have? What was wrong with the 27? From what I understand, it was just like a higher end version of the 17. Why'd you remove Caden from the stream? Because he was annoying. He kept asking the same stupid questions over and over again. And I would answer it, like, literally, like, 24 times. And he would still keep asking the same question. And I kept telling him, I was like, hey, quit asking the same questions. It's very annoying. I heard you the first time, and so I just, removed him. I just, because he's just spamming, and spamming is not allowed. The 15 was identical to the 14, except the ball and the circuit board being in the air passageway. Exactly. Whereas the 14 is a rock solid machine. The 14 is probably one of the best machines they made because it took the few problems that the 07 had and it fixed them. So, which the biggest thing is that the Cyclone is so much easier to rip apart. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I would say the best Dyson is the DC07. Why not the 14? The 14 is really nice. Is there any real reason to prefer the 07 to the 14, other than just a weird personal preference? Nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying it's what's the reason? Should I throw in my DC-24? No, give it to me. The 07 is my second favorite US Dyson. Yeah, the 7 and the 14 are very close as far as US Dysons. For me, nostalgia, but in general, no. I actually do prefer the 14 to the 07. Yeah. Because the 14, but in my experience, is a 7. 7's better for me. Yeah, it's just whatever you prefer. They're very, very similar. I mean, the entire base plate of them, along with the 33, is identical. So I do want to get a 33 while I can still score a new one. Or a refurb one. So I actually am thinking about doing a video on whether or not you should buy refurbished vacuum cleaners. And I'm debating if I should, to test that out, get a Bissell or a Dyson. So I'm trying to decide between if I want to test it out by getting a Helix Turbo or a 33. I just want to know why Dyson thought that backwards facing handle was a good idea. I have no idea. I honestly don't understand why. I guess the idea was since the little pipe is in front, then which is the spine of the machine, that it's whenever you're holding it, instead of it being further back, it's further forward in the same handle. Like when you're holding it in the same position, it's further forward. So maybe with certain Dysons like the 17 and 18, maybe it works better when it's more upright versus more reclined. So maybe that's the reason. So when you're using it in the same motion, it's further up instead of down further. So I think that's the only thing I can think of. Didn't the DC-15 have the same handle as the 14 when it first came out? Why did they change the 14 and 15? Well, it was almost the same, but the difference was the 15, when they first came out and they had front-facing handles, I'll refer to it as the 07 handle. So when I say 07 handle, I mean the front handle. When I mean 17 handle, I mean the back handle. So both of them first came out with 07 handles, and the 14 was basically just a bigger 07 handle, and the 15 was the same, but it had an extra little loop on it. So it was like the 17 handle, but flipped the other way, flipped towards the front. And let me just friggin' Google this crap. Just so I can show you. It's easier if I actually show you it. So, Dyson DC, and the 15 handle is even worse than the 17 and the 14 back handle. The 15 back handle is the worst because it's sloped downwards. So, like, look at this. See, yeah, see. So, the 15 actually has 3 different types of handles. So the 15 actually has 3 handles. So this is the first handle, which is identical to the, almost identical style-wise to the 14 handle. But these ones are really hard to find for some reason. I believe these were more common in the UK. But in the US, I believe when we got, where is it? We got this one. So it has that extra little loop on the front of it. That's not a very good picture. You see it has an extra little loop on the front of it. And see, that's fine. You know, that's the exact same as the last handle, but just with an extra little piece of plastic. Which you could argue that makes the handle more rigid and, you know, is better. So I don't have a problem with that. But what the hell is this? So not only is this where the handle faces the wrong way, but it's sloped the opposite way, because when you're using it, at least with the here, where's the let's see, Dyson DC 14, not 13, there is no 13, DC 14. So with the 14/17, with that crap handle, look, this is even the same SKU, so it's the full kit. So this is the exact DC 14 that I had when I was a kid. So let's snap this. So look at this. So this, the 14, at least when you have it reclined, that means that the handle is perpendicular to the floor, or is parallel to the floor. So whenever you're holding it back, your handle is naturally, your hand is naturally going in the motion of the vacuum, and it's flat. It's still much less comfortable, and you're still torquing your wrist at an angle that is not right for vacuuming. But at least it's, you know, good. This is in the exact wrong direction. So now you have to curve to vacuum with the 15. Instead of having your hand be straight, you have to curve it down like this to use it. So now you have to have it curved like this and then push against it. Like, put your pressure towards the handle to get the thing. It's not like a smooth motion. You have to press against the handle in order to get the thing to move. And considering the 15 is significantly heavier than the 14, that's a problem. So it's very, very uncomfortable. And this is the worst Dyson handle, because this is, you know, it's not great, but it's fine. I mean, I prefer the other handle, but it's not like, oh my god, it's the worst thing ever. Because this is the worst thing ever. And plus, because one of the nice things about this handle is, see how the wand cap is flush? That means that you don't even have to flip up the wand cap, especially on the 17 where it doesn't have a button. So on the 17, since it had this like very loose wand cap and it had no button, you could literally just grab the tube and yank it up. And the wand cap would flip out of the way for you, and the thing would pop right off the handle for you. So it was all just one quick motion. And in the case of the 14, if you press the button while just grabbing the wand and pulling it out, again, the wand cap would just pop out of the way, and it would never break off. Like, it would just flip right up, because there's enough spacing in there to where you're not like snapping it off this. And that's actually one of the advantages that this handle has over the normal 14 handle. The normal 14 handle cups over it, so if you try to pull it up, you're going to snap that wand cap off. Whereas this still has the same issue. Oh, why didn't I just do that? Well, this has the same issue where it covers that, so then you have to flip up the cap and then still pull it out. So you can't just do it in one swift motion, which I know, like, that's not a big deal, but that's the only advantage that this handle actually has. Plus, because then when you're putting it in a closet, you have this extra space here that you have to account for, because, you know, now you have to worry about, you know, the extra, like, because now it's kind of like on the Power Force Helix, how that hose sticks out, so then you have to make extra space. The actual, like, volume of the machine sticks out to, like, right here on the Helix, and for this, it sticks out right here, meaning that you have all this extra wasted space that you need to make just to make room for the handle if you're putting it flat up against a wall. Anyways, so yeah, that's why I don't. Also, that dusting brush isn't even on correctly, and this is a stock photo. Seriously? It's pathetic. But yeah, so this is also the exact 14 that I have that my brother, I think, still has, and he refuses to give to me, even though it's my vacuum, and I let him borrow it. Like, I let him borrow it for like not even a month, and it's now been over 10 years, and he still has my vacuum, and he's probably just gonna run the thing into the ground and then just throw it out. I doubt he's gonna give it, because if he won't give it to me while it's working, then why would he give it to me when it's busted? He's probably just gonna. So he just stole my vacuum. He just stole my freaking $200 vacuum, along with my Xbox. But whatever. But he's my brother, so that makes it okay. Yeah. So let's see. My DC-14 volt kit has a rear wand on the handle. I just don't use it that much. I give it to my parents, and they need a vacuum for it. Got teeth like razor blades, and you know that we're out for blood. We're out for blood. I have a Dirt Devil Breeze that eats belts, and it's made in 2011. All Dirt Devils eat belts for the most part. My uncle had a DC-14 animal with that backwards facing handle. So did my aunt. I've actually owned 3 or 4 DC-14 animals, and I sold every single one of them. Although the one that my aunt gave me was on its last legs, but I still could have probably fixed it. And of course, since I had another 14 and I didn't like the handle, but if I wanted to keep the exact vacuum that my aunt had, I could just put the other handle on it. Because obviously they're interchangeable. Are Bissells better than Dirt Devils? Yes. Yes, they are. But yeah. So. Right in the face, staring at a burning sun. See, I want a low reach now. See, like, and especially this one, because it's got the filter catch and it's got the shiny purple buttons. So this is the 14 that I want. This is like, oh, what just happened? Oh, there it goes. Okay, so this is probably my second favorite 14. Actually, no, I really like this one too. There's so many good 14s. See, the 07s are kind of acquired taste, but minus the 04s, plus the animal on the 14 looks so much better than on the 07. I don't like how the 07 is all the extra crap that's purple for no reason. Doesn't look very good. DC, oh, it's DC-04. I wonder if you could put a DC-07 handle on a DC-04. Because I know what the attachments will fit on it. It probably wouldn't fit down the hose, probably the only thing, but because the handle looks the same. Just because the 07 has a better style wand cap. I almost got a refurbished on eBay one, and the seller lowered the price to $120, and somebody bought it. Bought what? When will you test the 2191U? At some point. I did turn it on real quick today just to make sure that it runs, and it does. Everything seems to work on it. But I didn't actually use it yet, so it's still untouched. You know, there's no dirt in it or anything. I just raised it off the floor and just hit the power button with my hand just to make sure it runs. DC-14 low reach. I almost got that instead of animal. Yeah, see, I came super close to getting a low reach too, but I ended up being just the slightest bit outbid. So now I learned to just at the last minute just do a crazy bid, especially because I found out that. Did that fly just fly to my mouth? I found out that you can bid like a really high amount and it'll only increase by a small amount. So you can just bid like, you know, if something's like $80 and you bid like $500, and then, you know, if and then get it for like 90. So maybe not 500, but if you build like 100 and you get it for 90 or something like that. So if it's at 80, which is what I should have done with that low reach. But I ended up getting, the Fury instead, so it's not that big of a deal. Plus, I'll probably find a low reach at some point. Or just, again, the 14, there's so many different versions of the 14 that I could get. Honestly, I really just want mine, honestly, because it's like, but it's like, I guess there's no use complaining about it. Like, would I be in the wrong to, like, try again to, because I've tried, like, over the years to ask my brother for it, and he just doesn't want to hear about it. Like, am I in the wrong for asking? Like, I kind of say that sarcastically because it's obviously my vacuum that I paid for, but it's like, should I like, should I just let it go because most normal people who aren't vacuum collectors would just let it go and buy another vacuum? I don't know. I just break in while he's asleep and steal it and run out. He lives in California. How am I supposed to do that? I can't even leave the state right now, and I'm supposed to go to California and steal my vacuum back. That makes sense. Ooh, look at that. That's a decent combo. Oh, it looks like this person's upgrading. Looks like they're upgrading from the Bissell to the Dyson because the Dyson's brand new. That's probably gonna clean better than this, honestly. And hell no. Why can I not talk today? Is your Power Force bag list still in parts? I disagree that EC14 cleans better. But yeah, my Power Force bag is still in parts. Sorry, someone just messaged me because they were like, "Hey, you're," they're like, "Hey, you're heart reacting my boyfriend's post. So can you please stop being like flirty with him because he's told you that he has a boyfriend?" And I'm just like, heart reacting someone's post is flirting? Since when? I'm sorry for being nice. It's like, if he's uncomfortable with it, why wouldn't he tell me? Because I talk to him all the damn time. I think that's his boyfriend too. It's like, why are you speaking? Why doesn't he just message me since I've been talking to him? I'm not like flirting with him. Oh, I'm sorry, giving someone a compliment is flirting. It's like, I live on the other side of the country. What the hell am I gonna do? Well, he was in Alaska. Whatever. This will clean better because it has a much better brush roll. Yeah, exactly. Unless that brush roll was like really. Hold on, I gotta respond to this. One sec.
be actually a pretty good place for opportunity and advancement. And
I,
you
I
know,
applied to it. I applied to another job before.
did you?
Yeah.
There's one right up there by the Mexican place, by
Yeah.
James in there.
I keep forgetting that's even there.
And be careful if you got driving around. We got one kid who was going to see his girlfriend. He got pulled over.
What?
Or no, he was getting gas.
Why did you get pulled over?
He didn't get pulled over. The cop came up to him and said, "What you doing?" And he said, "I'm going to see my girlfriend."
So what's the problem?
The cop told him to go home. He decided that Illinois law right now, unless it's essential, stay home.
So it's an
And I was
actual.
like, what kind of dick cop would do that? But
So it's an actual like law. It's not like a suggestion. Isn't that kind of like?
fascism.
I was gonna say something nicer than that, but.
I'm just telling you what happened. We've had it happen to guys in work trucks and happened to a guy on his personal
So
time.
you're saying be careful.
Just be prepared if you're out getting gas and running around, then maybe.
So just say I'm getting gas. What are they gonna tell me to go home if I'm just getting gas?
Yeah, or say you're looking for a job or something. I don't know. It's not like you really, or you're selling phone. That's part of your business, but I don't know. I'm just
Just have
telling
a
you.
good excuse either way. Got teeth like razor blades, and you know that we're out for blood. We're out for blood. Whoa, better run, better run. 'Cause here it comes, here it comes. Better run, better run. When the wolves come out to play. Alrighty. Well, I have food, so I'm just gonna watch some videos. I have a burger and salad. Like razor blades, and you know. Let's all watch the new video. Sorry for that. I turned to look at the vacuum and the handle bopped me right on my head. The handle up here just fell and just smacked me right in the head really hard. Ouch. Anyways, so I think I finally just fixed my new Fury. I shouldn't have had to do this. $160. But if this works now, I'll still be happy with it. Also, it needs a new friggin' light bulb. But that's no big deal. I can get those easily. So I think my Fury hopefully finally works now. I finally got a good Fury. Let's try it. Let's try it now. Hopefully now it's good. thing works. Look at that. Groomed the carpet beautifully. Even got up a little dust bunny in there. Still needs a headlight, but that's no big deal. But yeah, so it works. Works very nicely. Actually, I think the headlight is still good in my old Fury. Well, no, I think it was going out. I don't remember. If it is, I could just put that bulb in here, but I probably just put a fresh one in anyways. I think you can still get bulbs for these. I'm not quite sure. I know my Thunder has 2 good bulbs in it. Um, actually, do the Thunder and the Fury use the same bulbs? I don't remember off the top of my head. I'm sure if I looked it up, I'd figure it out. But yeah, so my Fury is finally working. After buying 2 of them and after spending a bunch of time fixing this one because it was clogged. Hey, I would rather have it be clogged than have it have a bad motor or a bad brush roll. So even with how much I paid, I'm still not necessarily complaining, or at the very least, I'm complaining, but I'm content because the Fury works now, and I finally have a working Fury. So I'm super happy about that. Plus, I guess right now this is technically the only real Phantom I have that's working properly because this one works beautifully, but it's technically a Kenmore. I mean, it's technically still a still a Phantom, but it's also technically a Kenmore. It's weird how that works because this is by all means a Phantom, but it doesn't say Phantom. It says Kenmore. Whatever, you get the idea. So, and also I used the new Power Groom to look at all this. All of this that pulled out of the Fury. And that's not even all of it. That's far from all of it. There was significantly more that was pulled out of the Fury whenever I first unboxed it. So there was a ton of this fuzz. And the weird thing is like most of this fuzz was still white. It looked like someone had like completely like intentionally plugged this with like stuffing from like a stuffed animal or from a couch or something because it was clear, it was clean, like the fuzz was clean. Obviously now this isn't, but what was at first in the machine was still pure white fuzz. So I don't have an explanation as to why. I mean, I almost thought, oh, maybe they put it in there for shipping, but they plugged it up with it all throughout the vacuum in shipping. That makes no sense. So I don't know what the logic was. And again, someone had clearly cleaned it out and then plugged it up with all this stuff because it was clean. Like this fuzz was clean. So I don't have any explanation for that. I can't think of an explanation. If any of you guys can think of an explanation, I'll probably ask the eBay seller. Like I'm not mad, like obviously I got it plugged up, but I'm just so curious cuz it's like why was there white fuzz completely plugged up inside of this vacuum? I don't understand it. Um but hey, I guess it's funny either way. And the machine works, so I'm happy with it. And it's I'm just happy that it's working. It sounds perfect. It sounds just like the old infomercials with the Fury, although most of those infomercials show the 11 amp Fury, but the motors sound the same between the 11 and the 12 amp. At least they're supposed to, from what I understand. The only thing now is that now that I got this working, I saw on OfferUp a few people, or well, I saw on a few different websites some people selling the copper versions, and as you guys know, the copper version is the one that I really want. So whenever I get some extra cash, I'll probably snag one of those too. And if I snag one of those, I don't need 3 Furies. So if I snag one of those orange ones, I may sell my 10 amp one. I'm not quite sure. Or I might just keep it around, and then if I get one that's cosmetically wrecked but has a good motor, because my 10 amp one is cosmetically in good shape, kind of. Actually, it's really not, but I mean, it's passable, but it has a bad motor. So yeah, so that's my 12 amp Phantom Fury, now officially working good and still in excellent condition. Um, Still has kind of all the attachments, but instead of having the dusting brush, it has the pet hair tool, which is really rare and hard to find. There is like a little holster you can get that attaches to this, so you can put the banter tool right here and then still have the dusting brush on it. But I haven't found one of those yet, but I am on the hunt for one of those adapters. So if any of you guys have one of those adapters that you'd like to sell to me for a couple bucks, I'd gladly get it from you, as well as just other Phantom tools, because my Destiny Plus has the floor tool and crevice tool, but it's missing the dusting brush. And so I need two dusting brushes. And then my 10 amp Fury has all the attachments, including the dusting brush. So I do own a Phantom dusting brush. It's just on the other Fury. But I would like to have two more dusting brushes, so both of these have one. And beyond that, I'm very, very happy with this. Um, but yeah, why don't we just go ahead and just lay this down real quick, and we can get a look at that brush roll. Because the brush roll is in, like, it's got all this fine dust on it from how well this thing's picking up. But yeah, this brush roll is smooth. This is a smooth brush roll. And the bristles still stick out a little bit, so they're still agitating well. This looks like a new brush roll, honestly. It looks pretty much like a new brush roll. And I'm very, very happy with it. Like, it's almost too smooth, in a way. I don't know if that's even possible, or maybe there's just something that they did to it. But, there's no cracks that I can see along this bottom portion. Everything looks to be in good shape. There's nothing out of the ordinary, at least not that I can grasp onto, other than the headlight, but that's no big deal. Truth be told, if I was selling a vacuum with a burnt out headlight, I probably wouldn't even bother to replace the bulb either way. So I can't really blame them for that. Again, even with how much this machine is, a bulb is like what, $2? So, I know some people be like, "But I paid this much, so they should have included that." Yeah, I get that, but I'm not, a stickler about that. So, you know, um, and again, at least at least there's an option for headlights. I suppose other machines that should have headlights but don't, and just have empty spaces where the headlight should be. At least this one actually has the spot for a headlight, and it's missing. It has the cover too, and it's in good shape. I know these covers tend to break and go missing a lot on these Furies, and even the later limited edition, special edition, and Crosswind 200 XL. These lens covers would always break off, but this one's in good shape. This thing's got like a couple scratches on it. It's not brand new condition or anything, like some lucky collectors are able to get it, but it's it's definitely passable for sure, and it's still shiny. They clearly whoever the seller did a very good job of polishing this and making it look very nice, and I'm very, very happy with it. But yeah, I'm pretty much just gushing about this thing. Um, but yeah, so this Fury is just I just really, really like it. I'm so happy to have one working, and like I said, I paid $160 for this after shipping and everything. So after everything's said and done, that's what came out of my wallet. And yeah, considering how good the brush roll is, how good the belt is, how good the performance is, how good it sounds, how good cosmetically it is, I'm happy with it, because these retailed for, I think, $230 when they were new, and adjusting for inflation, that's around 350. That's just under 350. So after taxes, you're looking at like $350 in today's currency. And I'll tell you what, like my local Walmart, granted they've been out of stock of them for a while, so I'm pretty sure they're discontinuing them, but has the Dyson light bulb for like what, 250, 280. Actually, I think it's 280. And yeah, so if I had the option between buying that in today's money or spending 350 and buying one of these, I would buy one of these any day. Obviously, these aren't available anymore, unfortunately. I really wish there was somehow the ability for someone to regain the patents to the Phantom name and get access to the moldings and the schematics, and somehow be able to rebuild and remanufacture these things with new motors. Meaning, like, make new stock, like, bring them back into production. I know that's probably never going to happen, but I could imagine uh, because again, it's such a niche market of vacuum collectors who want to see new machines like this. Plus in theory, it'd probably devalue the original machines um, if they actually used the Phantom name and actually made it identical 1-to-1 to the original machines. Then I could see how that could kind of mess with collectors a little bit. But I mean, hell, they could, just just put the Europro Phantom name on the front of it, or just make a new Phantom logo. So then oh, this is an original Phantom. The other one's the new 2020s Phantom. I don't know. I wish I could do that. That'd be so cool to bring these back to life and start being able to manufacture these again. Because obviously you have to worry about patents and shit because the company's been bankrupt for 20 years. So the only things you have to worry about is with the Lightning. Dyson pretty much owns the patent on the machine. But I mean, would Dyson even care? It's based off the DC-02. They're not even making upright and canister vacuums anymore, or not developing them, I should say. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Sorry for my rambling, but again, so I have the Fury now. It runs beautifully. It cleans very, very well. I'm super happy to have it. I greatly prefer it to the Thunder. And one little note about my vacuum reviews is that the way that I'm going about it moving forward is that a machine like this that's not on the market anymore, I'm basically reviewing it from the perspective of myself as a collector and just kind of talking about what I like and don't like about it and not necessarily like going in depth about whether you specifically should buy it and all that stuff. Because that sort of thing I'm saving for machines that are still on the market, like that Power Groom. You can still buy that Power Groom. So the review for that is going to be more so like, hey, should you buy this? Here are the pros and cons. Here's what it's good for. Here's what it's not good for. Is it worth the price? Crap like that. Whereas this is more so just like, hey, I got this. Here's what I like about it. Blah, 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 blah. And rambling and ranting, that sort of thing. So, with that in mind, the Phantom Fury is, well, first off, again, one of the reasons why I always wanted one of these things is because it's so much lighter than the Thunder. Now, this thing is still a sturdy piece of kit. It's still beefy. It's a little bit beefier than I thought it was. And the truth is, I think this is actually heavier than my 10 amp one. At least I think. Hold on, let me go get my 10 amp one. I could pause the video, but I don't feel like it. But yeah, let me grab the 10 amp one and see. Yeah, this feels a little bit lighter. It's really hard to hold it like this because the handle's digging into my arm. But yeah, so here's the 10 amp Fury and the 12 amp Fury. And you can see the differences. The shade of green is a little bit darker on the 10 amp Fury. The 10 amp Fury has, you can see like there, like that's a darker green, that's a lighter sort of pastel green. This has got the green on the handle and on the bumper. This does not. This is all black. I actually kind of like the green on this. In theory, if I wanted to, I could just swap the handle and this bumper and add the green to this one. I think I've seen collectors do that before where they have the 12 amp one, but it still has the green bumpers. I don't know if that was official, if these were always black, or if they made some of these that had the green bumper and handle grip. But, I mean, I guess I could in theory swap it, but I'm probably not going to. But yeah, so put that on high pile. Wow, that doesn't want to go on high pile, does it? There it goes. Okay. I'm kind of worried about that. But yeah, and you can see like this one, this is actually like a 3D print, not printing, but it's actually molded into the plastic and it's textured. You can feel it. You can feel like each bump of the letters. And whereas this is just a sticker. So in theory, if you wanted to make every single collector hate you, you could actually just probably start peeling off the sticker and just rip it off and just completely debrand the vacuum. Um, and you could do the same thing with the Fury badge down here. I've seen these wear off all the time. You can see this one's wearing off, whereas this one actually is wearing a lot better because it's actually pressed into the plastic. And it's also etched, so you can actually feel it in the plastic. I wonder if these bins are interchangeable. That's one random thought I just had. I wonder if these bins are interchangeable. Also, the cyclone assembly is a bit different. Of course, it's got some dust on the... And I just dumped all that out by accident. Oh well. You can see that's a white color, that's a black. This is the problem with these machines, that the dust gets all on the outside. This is the same problem that Bissell does, where because it's an open cup, the dust just gets all over the place. But yeah, so will this fit on this? Oh, maybe not. Maybe. Oh yeah, it does. Fits a little bit. It doesn't feel right. And then this one. Yeah, see, this one feels loose, and then this one feels too tight. So I'm not sure why that is. But that's an interesting little thing. Yeah, see, that one, like, had to kind of tug on it to get it to come out. And that's one thing I like about the Furies as well, compared to the... Is that supposed to be like that? The Cyclone assembly looks like it's not centered correctly. Oh, well. That's another thing I like about the Fury compared to the Thunder, because the Thunder, this, where the Cyclone ends is much farther down in the bin. So when you're pulling the bin off, like, look how far the Cyclone extends into, like, towards the back end of the dirt container. So when you're pulling this out and you have dirt towards the back, it's going to scrape, it's going to tug on that dirt and yank it out of the bin and just spill it all over the front of the vacuum. And that's one thing they actually, a little design thing they actually thought of when they made the Fury, is that they put the Cyclone much further up. So since the fill line's up here and you know, this ends right here, when you pull this out, none of that dirt is going to be pulled out, because just once you get to this point, it's all going to fall into the bin. It's going to be very little bit of it. It's not going to be a huge chunk of dirt. So you're not going to be spilling dirt out from the dirt container nearly as often as you would with a Thunder. And that's one thing that I really like about the Fury. And you also got to be careful, because this bin sometimes doesn't like to go in properly. Which is hard to do with one hand, because you have to kind of line it up just right. Oh, come on. Come on. This is not sealing correctly. Feels kind of funky. Am I doing this right? Is this Cyclone, like, crooked? Oh, it is. So this Cyclone was crooked, apparently. Let's try this now. There we go. That feels a little bit more proper. But yeah, so, and I guess just for fun, we'll plug in the 10 amp one and see how bad that sounds. Just so you can see the difference again. Because the 10 amp one did not sound very good. So, just to torture you guys, I'll do that. I'll unplug that and plug this one in and turn this on. That made my eardrums explode, and also the headlight does work on that, so I could put that in this one and this one. And also comparing the fluff traps. This one has it down here. This one has a little plug that's up here. So that's a bit of a difference as well. And beyond that, also this one has a reset switch, which actually, am I able to even press that? Or will it even let me press it? I don't know. Well, I don't think I'm doing it right. I don't know. And this one just doesn't have one at all, which is odd. Feels a little bit warm right here. Not hot, just a little bit warm. Also, here is the sticker. And it looks like this was manufactured on the 43rd week of 2000. Interesting. At least I'm assuming that's what that means, right? I'm assuming that's kind of like a Dyson where it's the year and then the week, right? 43rd week because there's 52 weeks. So I'm assuming this says the 43rd week of 2000. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I believe that's what that means. And of course, Phantom Technologies, this is well beyond the Iona phase. So, serial number, made in Canada, of course. But yeah, model number FY63KO3, style PV9. This one is model number F1005101. I don't know if that 01 is considered in the model number or not. But yeah, so it's style PV1. Interesting, made in Canada. But yeah, this is a long video. But yeah, so anyways, since I'm probably not gonna make. I mean, of course, there's only so many videos I can make on this, but now that I have a good Phantom Fury, I guess I could do a video comparing my two favorite vacuums now, which would be the Phantom Fury and the Powerglide Platinum. So I could do a video comparing my two favorite vacuums and see which one wins. That'd be an interesting little tidbit thing to check out. But yeah, so there's not much else to say that I can really think of, other than, again, I'm super happy to have this. Also, by the way, I don't think that Furies and Thunders have interchangeable brush rolls unless like the 10 amp and the 12 amp Fury are different, because I tried to put the brush roll from my Destiny Plus, which is a Thunder, in the 10 amp Fury and it did not work. It was way too big. So I don't know where I keep hearing people say that the Fury and the Thunder have the same brush roll. I don't think they do unless I'm missing something, or I misheard what the usual thing is. I know they use the same belts, obviously, because the Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 belts are also earmarked for the Phantom Fury, but they also work on the Thunder, and that's what I have on my Thunder, is the Dirt Devil style 4 and 5 slash Fury belts. So, yeah. Also, both of these seem to have, semi-good HEPA filter cartridges. This one actually looks like it's a later revision of it. Perhaps. I know the other one's an original Phantom filter. Oh yeah, this one's a third-party filter. But it still says to reorder, contact Phantom Technologies. So is this a genuine filter, or I guess would this be a second-party filter? Because I don't know. It's in really good shape though. But yeah, so it's got that filter in it. Maybe this was the filter that it came with. Maybe just at this point they had switched away from the filters with the pull tabs on them. Also, this one doesn't even say certified HEPA filter, which is odd. Is this a replacement housing? Maybe? I don't know. Whereas this says, but this has the little thing on it. This is a completely different material too. So this is Harding Manufacturing Corp. But it still says to reorder, contact Phantom Technologies. And this is from January of 1997. So this filter was manufactured before the vacuum was, I think. Because I think that date code said, what, the 10th week of 97? Something like that? I'll have to double check that. I'll put the date in the description for both of these. But yeah, so that's both of my Phantom Furies. This one's sounding like a chainsaw, and this one's sounding like an angel. Or this one's sounding like an angel, and this one's sounding like an angle grinder. So, yeah. This was again, sorry, this is a super long video, but I hope this is interesting considering I absolutely adore these Phantoms. And of course, I also got my Destiny Plus, which I'll do a video on as well. And now that this is in good shape, I think I will do a demo with this Fury, just like I did with the Destiny Plus. Not with this one. Not with this one. Unless you want to hear this for 10 minutes long, which I doubt you. Oh my god, that smells bad. Yeah, that actually has a burning smell to it, so I'm actually worried that if I run this for longer, it may catch on fire, so I'm not going to do that. Anyways, this is Intelitech Studios with my review, with my what started out as a vacuuming cleaning video and what turned into my full review for my 12 amp Phantom Fury. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next review slash demo slash whatever. I was going to do my Galaxy Note 7 review soon, but I was going to drop that at the same time that Hugh Jeffries dropped his first Note 7 video, but he decided to drop his video and not credit me for me spending 4 months helping him fix it. It's not like a I can't even describe that smell, but it's a pleasant smell. It's not like oily or anything. It smells really nice. It smells fresh, but it also doesn't smell like Febreze or anything. So it's not like a artificial freshness. It just smells like it smells new almost, which is weird. But or I guess like a similar sort of smell tone. I don't know, but either way, maybe it's just the dopamine hitting my brain for me liking having one of these so much. Anyways, I'm super duper happy to have this, and thank you so much to the seller who put this up on eBay, even though it was kind of annoying with the whole thing being plugged up. But again, compared to it having with how good the brush roll is, how good the motor sound, how good the thing works once it was unplugged, I'm not complaining. Hey guys, so I gotta deal with this, so I gotta go ahead and sign off. So I'm sorry this is a bit abrupt, but apparently I'm getting pulled into a text messaging war. So, anyways, I'll see you guys in the next stream, and yeah, I hope you guys have a good one. Sorry about that.